everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. My name's Emily and I am a knitter, crocheter and very occasional sewer. Today's episode is my usual podcast, so I'll be covering any updates, any finished objects, any works in progress that I've worked on in the last week, any cast-ons and any acquisitions, of which there is an acquisition today. It's very exciting, it came today. I've not had a chance to get it out the box. I've opened the box, but I've not looked at it. So we're going to look at it together. I'm very excited. But firstly, how are we all today? I hope that you're all doing well and that you've had an absolutely lovely week so far. My week, I could do with not repeating this week, if I'm perfectly honest. It's been rough, let me put it that way. I kind of knew it was going to be busy, but I was not expecting what I got, basically. Everything has been thrown at us this week, so it's been really interesting. And it's one of those weeks where if I don't laugh, then I will cry. And I'm sure I've said that before on my channel, but yes, this week it definitely applies. It has been rough. It is all around work. Work usually gets kind of busy around this time of year, just the nature of the job that I do. And it's going to be rather busy this week, next week, and the week after, basically. But yeah, this week was probably going to be the toughest. Although I say that now, and my usual recording day is a Wednesday, I'm actually recording on Thursday this week because I thought Wednesday was bad and thought, I know, in my wisdom, I will record on Thursday because it can't get any worse than Wednesday. Yes, it can. It did. And now I am regretting. But I am here, I am happy to be here, and I'm excited to show you all the stuff because I did not think I'd be able to get as much done as I actually have because I was away at the weekend. If you saw my video last week, you will know that I finished my emotional support chicken. Loved that project. It was so much fun to make, and the final item is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And it was hard to give it away, but it is now living with my friend and she absolutely adored it. So I could not be happier to have gifted that to her. It was a nice surprise for her and it was so much fun to make. So yes, I will be making more, don't you worry. But yes, that is why I thought I wouldn't get much done. But I actually have got a fair amount done and I'm excited to show you the progress, which, yeah, let's get stuck in. First, I need a quick sip of my drink. Ooh. I feel like I've been in meetings all day and it's just been a bit much. And my mouth is just like, oh, I've had enough. But we are here, as I say, and I am excited. So we're going to get stuck in. We're going to start with updates, of which there are none this week. However, just a little snippet of what's coming next week. I will hopefully have more information for you about when I'll be recording my month-end wrap-up for March because we are nearly there. It's just, can these months slow down, please? It's just ridiculous. So month-end wrap-up will be coming soon and I will let you know next week my time plan on that. The other video that I need to plan is my next instalment of my Behind the Seams series because I'm going to try and record that on the 1st of April. And then hopefully have it to you. I don't know why I'm already giving you what I'm planning, but this, you know, my head's going there, so we're going there. I will try and get it to you the week of the 1st of April, basically, is where I'm going with that. So those are the updates. And the next section is my finished objects, of which there are none. I know. I've got my Lois the Cormorant is still waiting to be made. She's just sitting there in the bag. All her parts are made. She is one of these birds of Christmas up here by Toft. And I just need to sew her up and I haven't done it yet. So maybe that's a job for this weekend, I think. I've got a free weekend this weekend. So I might actually sit and do some crafting if my brain will allow me. So maybe that'll be a list, an item to go on the list, maybe. Yeah, I probably should because she's been sitting there for ages. And we're almost in March. No, we're almost in April. Oh my goodness. You can tell it's been a day, all right? It's not been great. On to the next section, which is, yeah, I've done updates, I've done finished objects. We're on to works in progress. So, really excited. The first item that I'm going to show you, I nearly didn't do any work on, and I'll tell you for why in a moment once I've grabbed it over here. Hang on, I'm really nervous. I'm going to drop a stitch. Where am I working? Oh my goodness. I think you just got a flash of it then. I think you know what's coming. So the first item that I have done a little tiny bit of work on is my beautiful Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. I absolutely adore this pattern. I cannot sing its praises enough every time I show it, but I love it. As you can see, it is rather large now. It is 5 squares by 5 squares plus a half. And this is the only progress I have done this week. The only reason for that is because when I went to my friends, I had to take more portable projects with me, and this is slowly getting to the not so portable stage. So I didn't really want to take it with me. Plus, I had just finished all 5 squares, so my 5 by 5. So I'm starting a new row, as you can see. Here's the new square. I'm just starting the new row. I'm really nervous I'm going to drop this stitch. Anyway, so I'm just starting that new row. And I hadn't quite, so when I finish the rows, I will then lay the blanket down, and then I will plot out the next 2 rows. So the row going across the top and the row going down the side. I will plan those next 2 rows. I hadn't done that. So I only did that, I think was it yesterday I did that? I think it was yesterday that I planned that. So on Wednesday, I laid the blanket out and I planned the next 2 rows. So that's the only reason it's been not worked on. But I have picked it up again. Started adding the new square. So hopefully you will have a lot more progress for next week. But before I skip on to the next item, I'll just quickly let you know what yarn I'm using. So the yarn I'm using, this yarn here, the hand-dyed yarn, is by Attic Spin Dye. It is their Beatrix Potter Club from, not the year just gone, the year before, I believe, so 2022. Absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. And as you can see, all the colours are absolutely beautiful. And I highly recommend their yarn. It's just beautiful. But this is basically going to be I'm reading a book, I'm going to snuggle up blanket. I am holding fingering weight double, so it is technically a DK weight blanket, but yes, I am using fingering weight, and it's just beautiful. I do sing its praises every week, so here it is, and there's only a small bit of work on it. But, you know, I mean, a week can't go by without me touching this blanket and doing some work, so it was kind of a given. Really, I should tie in some ends, but we all know what I'm like. I might surprise you, and next week when I show it, I might have sewn in quite a few ends. Could be another task for the weekend. There we go. Right, on to the next item that I have worked on. I'm just checking my notes, and this one will be no surprise to you either. This is the one that I took with me, the main project that I took with me to my friend's house, and I got a fair amount done actually, because we decided to sit and watch a film. We sat and watched, was it Taylor Swift's concert as well? The Eras Tour, I don't know. But yeah, we sat and watched that together as well, which is like 3 hours long. So it was a good session of knitting, let me put it that way. So the next item that I have to show you is the beautiful April Snow Wrap by Andreas Ruthman. And again, I love this so much. So if I bring this closer, it is an assigned pooling project. So I'm hoping you can see, because I can't see the screen, but as you can see, where the colour changes, the nature of the stitch changes. So we're working in garter stitch, and then when we get to the colour change, it changes into a stockinette stitch. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I've never done an assigned pooling project before until this one. So it's been really nice to learn that. And then this next section that I'm working on, that I'm nearly done with now, I'm so excited, is just using 2 different yarns, and I'm knitting 1 row across in one colour. I will then move the needle back to the other side, knit or purl, it alternates. I will then do the work on the next row using the other colour, so that both yarns do end up, in fact I can show you, look, the yarns are on, so this one is here and then this one is on the other side. So because the last row that I have worked was the grey, that means that I need to work a row in the contrast colour. So then I'll make sure the needle is slid across to this side, and then I'll just work that row. And it's really clever, and it creates this really lovely, if I can get rid of that. There we go. It creates this really lovely stripy effect, and it's absolutely beautiful. With the colour changes, I'm not doing anything different. It is just garter, this section, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then when I finish with this section, I then go back into another section of this, which I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to doing that next section, actually, because I want to do a bit more of this colour changing and the pooling, changing of the stitches. I really like it. So the yarn, just show you that again. It's lovely. Those colours gorgeous as well. Oh, and quickly, this was where I got to last week, and as you can see, I've done quite a few rows, and it's also knit on the bias, so we're knitting kind of diagonally. If you see this line here where the colour changes, we're knitting in that direction. So yeah, absolutely loving it. It's such a fun project. I knew it would be, but I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be quite difficult with the colour changes and the different stitches every time you get to a colour change, but actually it's quite intuitive, and I really enjoy the differences. Basically, it's just a really nice pattern, and it wasn't as taxing on my brain as I thought it was going to be, which is a win for me because I can sit in bed while I'm reading my book and knit. So fantastic. The yarn I'm using is by the absolutely wonderful Zakami yarn. I do have the main colour here, which is the grey with that lovely colour change in there. And then as you can see, I'm nearly out of the contrast colour. Now, there is a lot of yarn management that we had to do. So Andreas gives you instructions on how to cake up the yarn. So I believe this one was a 100-gram skein of yarn, but when we caked it up as 250 grams. And that is so that we can separate for different sections. And I think it's a great idea because all I need to do is just use the last of this, and then I change back to the assigned pooling section. So is that the right way around? No. So then we change back to that section once I have finished with that colour. So that's great. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Now, the yarn. Back to the yarn. Hang on. I've got my trusty, oh dear. I've got my trusty little notebook here. Now, quick note on this. I have not used it as much as I had hoped, but I'm going to keep persevering with it. Why is it so heavy? I don't know why it's so heavy, but I'm going to keep persevering with it because I really would like it to become a good habit to fill in this book when I do projects and things like that. So, as I say, nothing is filled in. I'm going to quickly show you. Where are we? I'll show you the calendar, which I was going to use for I was going to use this to plan out YouTube videos and things like that. But as you can see, it is blank. So I'm clearly not very good at using it. But when April comes, I am going to set up the next lot of pages for April. And I'm just going to keep doing that so that I know it's there. And then I can start incorporating it into my actual crafting regime, if you will. But yes, anyway, we are on to the yarn for the April Snow Wrap. So here is my little project page for it. And the main colour, so that grey with the colour change. Hang on. I need to be able to see what you can see. Bear with me. So the main colour, so that's the grey with the colour change, is this label here. So Zakami yarn, and the colourway is called Portable Campfire. As you can see, it is 100% organic fine merino, so it's 100% merino, fingering weight, and it's non-superwash, which I've never used before. So this project is just full of first times, which is great. The final colour, so this colour here, is this bottom label here, and that is the same yarn, the same makeup, so that 100% merino, non-superwash, fingering weight, and it is called Cinnamon Stone. There we go. And I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. It's just, yeah, I love Zakami yarn anyway. And they basically did a kit for this pattern. And I bought it a little while ago, actually. So it's really good for me to actually get it on the needles, which I'm really, really excited about. Plus, I am knitting it to take part in Linda Simpson's Disney Sisters Creations Spring Shawl Make Along. So I'm going to be entering it into that, which I'm really excited about. I just need to get a wiggle on and get a bit more to it. Although Linda did say you don't need to finish the project, I'd like to at least get to the next colour block, and I need to double check when the date is for the entries to be in by, so I need to double check that. But yes, this is part of that make along, and I'm really excited. I love it. Right, I need to shove that over there. Hang on. So the next project that I have to show you, it's not a paused whip, but I've not done any work on it for a while, so I was really happy to get this out. It was the second project because I can never just take one project with me when I go somewhere. I have to take a selection because I might not fancy working on one, and then I might want to do something a little bit more complicated and so on and so forth. So the other project that I took with me and that I did some work on is the absolutely gorgeous, oh, let me get some slack, the absolutely gorgeous Rad Plaid Cowl. So this is a pattern by MemilyMakes, and it's just gorgeous. I love it. It's so lovely. If I bring that close, you can see the effect there. This is using 3 different yarns that are alternated between, and it's just so gorgeous. I really, really like it. I've had this for a while, and it was a kit that I bought from the absolutely wonderful Boscastle yarn. And the yarn, as you can see, is just absolutely beautiful. I fell in love with these colours. Now, green is not a colour I usually... Oh, actually, it looks quite nice with this top. Although this is a workout top. This is the top that I got when I did the Blenheim 10K in... Oh my gosh, when was that? When was that? It doesn't have a date. It doesn't have a date. But this is the top that I got from there, and I absolutely love it. But it looks really nice with this. Complete segue there. But anyway, this Rad Plaid Cowl by MemilyMakes, and I was here and I did quite a chunk. It's quite surprising. When I actually get started on it, I do go, if that makes sense. It's quite an intuitive design, quite an intuitive pattern, the alternating of the yarn. So all I need to do is keep going until it can kind of wrap around my neck, I think. I mean, no, I've still got quite a while. And then join it in a certain way, I think, a twisted way, and then that'll be done. So it'd be really, really good to actually get this finished because I really want to wear it. It's lovely. But the yarn is the most exciting part. So let me get this out of the bag. I'm using 3 yarns that are all hand-dyed by the lovely Tanya at Boscastle Yarn. I adore her yarn. Let me show you a label. Sorry, Tanya, I've folded your labels. But here we are. It is the lovely Boscastle yarn. Highly, highly recommend you checking her out. She dyes some absolutely beautiful, beautiful colourways. And the first colour is this lovely, let me reveal it a bit more. Hang on. The yarn cozies are great, but the yarn inside is even better. So this is called Gorse and Granite, and it's this lovely sort of off-white with some yellows. There's also some little bits of grey and speckles of black. It's beautiful. I love this one. This one, actually, I wanted to buy a skein of for quite a while. And then when I saw this kit that included this yarn in, I was like, oh, sold. Absolutely fantastic. So that is the first one. The next one is this absolutely beautiful green. Again, let me reveal it a bit better. There we are. This absolutely beautiful green. Now, I'm not really a green person, but this colour has made me into a green person because look at this. How beautiful is that? There's so much going on in that yarn. Very subtle changes. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one is called Valency Valley. And initially I had this Gorse and Granite as the main colour and Valency Valley was sort of like the background colour. But then I thought, no, I actually had to rip it out and start again and have this colour as the main colour because look, it's just, it just sings. It's beautiful. The final colour is this beautiful Surrey alpaca, and this colour is called Crowdy. And I think this is probably my favourite kind of blue because it's kind of like a dusty, bluey grey. It's just stunning. I've said this many times, I'd love a top made out of this. I think it would suit quite nicely, but it's beautiful. So those are the colours, and here is the project. And as I say, I've done a fair amount. There you are. And yeah, it's just fun. I really like this project, and it's nice to actually have got it out and done some work on it because it has been a while. I can't remember the last time I dug it out actually. And I don't know why that is because it's not complicated. it's just nice to, I think I just get distracted a lot, which needs to stop happening. But yes, that is the lovely Rad Plaid Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Right, I do have one more to show you. I know, for a week that's been really busy and I wasn't here the weekend, I actually got a fair amount done. But this one I am so happy about and I'm so excited to show you. Bear with me. I end up thwapping myself. So it's in the Toft bag from, this is the Toft Advent bag from 2023. So last year's Toft Advent. These toggles, every time I pick this up, I end up thwapping myself with them because they're quite heavy. And yeah, they're just everywhere. So I've got to be careful. Hang on. Right, okay, so I'm really excited. If you remember what was in this project bag, I don't know if you may remember, you may not, but if you do remember, you know what's coming. And I'm so excited about it. So, without further ado, here is the lovely Dartmoor Sweater by not Andrea Mowry, by Cadry. The Dartmoor Sweater by Cadry. And look, it's off the needles. Yes. Hey. I mean, I know I haven't done anything with the sleeves, but look at this. It's off the needles. And I'm so proud of myself because I've got mohair in my eye. Oh my goodness. Why do I knit with mohair? I know it's just going to beeline for my eyes. Anyway, this cast off is actually a tubular bind off. I have never done a tubular bind off in my life and I was terrified. Let's put it that way, because the tutorial that I found was really good and I can't remember who it's by, which is really not helpful. So I will link it below, the tutorial that I used. If you're curious about tubular bind off, I will link that tutorial below because it was fantastic. It was really helpful. She was really descriptive with how to do it and I followed it so easily. It was fantastic. And it got me to this point. So the actual bind off, and it made sense to me. It's brilliant. I wouldn't be able to remember how to do it without that tutorial at this point in time because this is my first time. I think I remember most of it though. I reckon I could do it, to be fair. But let me show you. Oh, I'm so excited. Look. My first ever tubular bind off. I think it looks so good. Look at that. Oh, it's so neat and stretchy and I'm so happy with it. I cannot tell you. Look at this. It's quite neat. I'm quite pleased with myself. So a tubular bind off, for those who don't know, do I have anything that I have bound off nearby? I don't, which is usual story for me. But a tubular bind off, basically, how can I explain this? You are essentially Kitchener stitching the purl stitches and the knit stitches together in almost a tube, if that makes sense, hence tubular bind off. So the way I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong because this is my first time doing it, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is that you separate the knit and the purl stitches in, so I did it for 1x1 rib. So you separate the knit and the purl stitches, and then the idea is that you then bring those stitches together in a tube. I think that's how, obviously I'm not the best at explaining it because it is my first time, and that is what I understood from the video, and that is what I understand by looking at the actual stitches here. That's how it looks and feels. It feels like they've just come together like that. So I think it's fantastic. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. It's quite stretchy. I don't want to pull it too much because I'm terrified. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy with it. Oh, and that also means, as I said, that the Dartmoor Sweater body is done, apart from the collar, obviously. I need to do ribbing for the collar. And I've just got to do the sleeves then. So I think that might be a task. My weekend is going to be crafty busy. A task for the weekend, hopefully, is maybe pick up the stitches for the sleeve, at least one of the sleeves, and see how I can actually get on with that. I haven't blocked it or anything like that. It is massive, and I am a bit nervous that I haven't knitted the body long enough. I do wear very oversized things, and I'm used to things sitting quite low on me. So I tell you what, shall I put it on? Let's put it on. Be aware it's massive. So hang on. It is huge, but I think it's designed that way, so I'm not too bothered because I want it to be huge. My microphone has fluff on it. That's it's great. Right, okay. So here we are. Oh, I need to get a bit higher, don't I? Hang on, let me go further back. Ooh, gosh. Here we are. Okay, so you can just see that there. It kind of sits. Can I... Good Lord. I may have edited that out because it was a bit chaotic. Anyway, here we are. You can see that it kind of just comes just... you probably can't hear me, can you? But there we are. It's just a little bit lower than my hips. I really hope you could hear me above all the chaos. I may have edited it, but the sweater comes just below my hips, so it's absolutely brilliant, and it's just, yeah, it's real nice. It is quite big, but that is the design of the sweater, I believe. As you can see, this line sits on the back of the shoulder, which is lovely. I think obviously it's going to fit a lot better once I've got the ribbing done and the sleeves on, because the sleeves will pull it out and help it settle a bit more. And obviously it's going to settle a lot more when it's blocked. So I'm really pleased with it. It's really cozy, it's really warm. And yeah, I'm ready to get started on the next part of it. I really like it. Now the yarn, I actually have the bag with me today so I can show you the yarn. Isn't that great news? Ooh, hang on. So, the yarn. I am holding two yarns together. The first yarn is this lovely Drops Nepal mix. And this is a blend of 65% wool, 35% alpaca. And the colourway is, it's a number, I'm afraid. It's 0618. It's lovely. It's this beautiful sort of off brown. It's kind of very pale, dusty brown. It's beautiful. The colour, mohair again. The yarn that I'm holding it with is lovely Drops Kid Silk Mohair. And this colour is number 12. There you are. And it creates this absolutely beautiful sort of pale brown, very dusty kind of brown. It's just, it's lovely. By the time I finish this, it will probably, well, it is spring now, I suppose. It'll probably be summer by the time I finish this, so I won't be able to wear it, but it will be ready for winter, so I'm very excited and I love it. So there we have it. I'm quite pleased with myself. I did all right this week, considering how busy I am and that I was away the weekend. I really was convinced I wouldn't have anything to show you, so really, really pleased. If only I could be that productive all the time, but there we are. Okay, on to the, just checking, cast-ons. No, the next section is cast-ons, and I have none for you this week. I am very, very tempted, to say the least, to cast on the sweater that I'm going to be making for my friend. I've just realised this is now static attached to me. Not ideal. Anyway, I am very, very tempted to cast that on for my friend, that dotty cardigan by All About Amy that I really want to cast on for my friend, because yeah, I just want to get that made and gifted to her. Plus it means that it's a massive bulk of yarn that can come out of my wardrobe and creates a bit more room for clothes, actual clothes. Because my yarn, honestly, it's squirreled away everywhere. There's yarn in here, there's yarn under the coffee table in front of me, there's yarn in the trolley, there's yarn upstairs. It's everywhere. So yeah, it'd be nice to actually do a big project and get that to my friend as well. So yeah, you may see that next week, you may not. If I decided against it, then you won't see it. But if I have gone a little excited, you may see it. So anyway, there is no cast-ons this week, long story short. Right, on to acquisitions, and I'm super, super excited to show you this. Hang on. My apologies, everyone. I am a little bit gutted because the final section of my video actually had no sound. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this time it has sound. But it also means that I opened everything with you, but I can't use that footage. So everything, unfortunately, is opened, but I'm going to try my best to make it look nice. So, on to the final section, which is acquisitions. And the item that I got this week was from Toft. And I was really excited about this because I've not done this before. I've done other subscriptions before, but this particular subscription I've not done. And I thought, I've got a little few extra pennies this month, so I thought I'm going to dive in and try this subscription. So the subscription that I got was, hang on, I'm trying to make it look nice. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, so the subscription that I got was Dolls Club. There we are. I think that's focusing. Yes. So I got Dolls Club. I think they do it every. Oh, I've just been through this with you. They do it 3 times a year, I believe. So this was March's instalment. So I'm really, really excited. It was Mary Anning. So it's just lovely. I can't wait to get stuck in. I also got, because it's my first time on the Dolls subscription, I got the Dolls Club patch. So that can go with the other 2 patches that I've got. So collection is growing. I'm very excited. So let's get stuck in and show you what's in the bag. So in the bag is all the yarn. Oops. There we are. Lots of yarn. And then we also get this lovely postcard. The pattern, I believe, is emailed into my Toft account. So I'll be able to log into my Toft account and then I'll be able to download the pattern there. But this little card is lovely. It shows us who we're making. And as I say, this month, this third is Mary Anning. And the back of the card just gives us loads of information about Mary. Gives us when she was born, when she died, what she was acclaimed for. She was a paleontologist, which is very exciting. And I'm just so excited. But here we are. Here she is again. And I'm really, really, really excited, as I said, to actually make her. I do have the Queen doll, so Queen Elizabeth II. I do have her to make as well, but I got her when she was still available on Toft's website. It wasn't as part of a subscription club, although I believe she initially was. I could be mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's where she first appeared. But Toft did sell her on the website for a limited time. And I got her then. So I still need to make her. I do have a stand for her, but obviously this is a new doll. So I could do with getting a new stand for Mary as well. But as you are well aware, I have not even started her yet. But I might try, if I'm feeling good and up for it, I might try and take part in Martyn of Knit 365. I might try and take part in his make along, but I can't remember when that started, and I'm probably very late to the party. Plus, I don't know when his make along ends, so I'm going to have to look into that to see if I want to take part and to see if I actually want to cast on, because I still need to finish these birds. So I'm just making things harder for myself. I'm really excited. I'm really happy that I have this, and I'm really looking forward to taking part in this part of the subscription. I probably won't keep it up because, as I say, I just had a few extra pennies this month, and I'm also keeping a few more pennies aside because Toft are probably going to have a little thing on their website for Easter, so saving a few pennies for that as well. But yes, I'm doing very well so far in not buying yarn as much as I did last year and previous years and things like that. I'm really excited using yarn in stash, but equally there are moments like this where I do want to splash out. I do want to get something nice, to try something new, and yeah, I'm excited to say. It doesn't look like it, but I'm excited. I'm just very tired. And yes, I really hope that the sound has worked this time because as I say, it'd be nice to get this video edited and to you on time. So fingers crossed I can do that. But yes, I am going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it means the absolute world to me. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of the day and a lovely weekend. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.